Yo, yo, yo. Kia ora, everybody. What's up? It is Robett. Welcome to Friday, our first Morena meetup. Good morning. How are you? We've been interviewing a whole bunch of people this week, so we figured why not open up the lines and actually open up for everyone. So if you are tuning in right now, where are you at? What are you doing? What's going on? This can be like News Talk ZB, but talking shit, but video wise. So if you tune in, literally you can click the link right below and you'll actually be able to jump straight in and you will pop up. So how the technology works, you click the link, it comes in, you pop it in here, and then you'll pop up right below on your screen. So you can do it on your cell phone, you can do it on LinkedIn, whatever. The goal here is either, what's been awesome, what have you learned, what's new, what's been shit, what are you working on, and I'll just put the link in there to LinkedIn as well. So if you're on LinkedIn, I've just commented down below. You can click the link to join in within the show. Literally, that's what's going to happen. So whoever wants to join in, jump up, say where you're at, and see what's going on. How's the week been? Has week one of this lockdown for New Zealand been good? Has it been shit? Has it been? Oh, Adama says, Morena, what's up? Adama, you're more than welcome to jump in. Anyone is more than welcome. Click the link, come in the mix, and join the show to wherever you're at. Who's got the best home office setup? We'll have points for that. Who's got the best banter of the best quarantine story this week? Might be a prize for that. Who's had the shittest week? That might not be a prize, but I'll give you high fives and virtual hugs from there as well. We've been really lucky this week on the show. Hinamai Elder she just said, Hinamai, she said, I'll be in handover at Starship at 9, send love to you all with, we have the Bitches and Bubbles podcast at 5:30 with Charmaine. Oh, it's so good. So good. Who's going to be the first brave soul? If you've been tuning into any of the shows this week, I would like to hear what's been your favorite interview. What have you learnt? What's been something cool that you've seen pop up? What are you working on now? Has your business pivoted? What's the biggest challenge that you've faced with your business in the last week? Have you gone batshit crazy at home with your partner and needed to go for runs? What have you done? Adama says, "Oh, I see. I'm not dressed well enough yet." Well, I don't usually dress well, so I'm not too phased on it. While we wait for that, into the first one come in. Whiskey to whoever joins the show first. Just, I don't care what you're doing. If you're watching this now and it's 9 o'clock, you're clearly not really working. Your boss might be checking it out, so it doesn't matter. Hori, the bro. Jump in, mate. Hori, hit the link. I know you're in Christchurch. Ariki Creative. This guy's an absolute creative weapon. I don't know, boy, gone good. So rad, so epic. I'm just actually trying to find out what some of the other shows that we've had this week. We have so much. Later on today, we've got at 10 o'clock, John Baker, media boss, ICG director, and in the mix. We've got our first guest coming in. Feel free, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy, Brett Norling. What's up, mate?
You said free whiskey. I'm here.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, rain check. I mean, it's 9 o'clock. I mean, shit. Tamati. Okay, so guest number one. How's your week been? Have you been a lawyer? Introduce yourself to everyone. I'm sure they know who you are, but what's your name? What do you do?
Brent Norling. We resolve commercial disputes. Nice and simple.
Lawyer. How has the law game been this week? Chaos?
Oh man, it's been brutal. Like I'm having probably 8 to 10 scheduled consults a day with business owners right now. Plus everything in between. It is brutal. Like the decisions business owners are making.
Yeah, what's the gnarliest shit you've been seeing? Like what's the main issue for everyone?
The main issue right now is no cash. So cash is just completely dried up. And the main issue we're dealing with right now is still the lease issue. So landlords are digging in, and tenants are trying to get some rent free.
Yeah. Is everyone playing that same game? Joe's tuned in. Joe, you should be on some spreadsheet doing damage somewhere, trying to take over the world with Adam. What are you flipping doing? Either join the show, bring a wine, or get out of here. No, Joe's awesome. So tenants, is everyone getting gnarly trying to figure out how to not pay rent? Are landlords being dicks? What's happening? Do you think there's going to be What's your prediction for the real estate market in terms of that happening for the next little bit?
Mate, everything's trickling up, right? So employees are losing their jobs. Business owners are facing some really tough decisions. They need to get some rent free. They need to cut their costs to survive. So then that puts the landlords in a tough position, right? Landlords have mortgages to pay as well.
Totally.
And so, my view is the banks need to step up. I mean, money is flowing. Money is flowing up in a good market, and now it's time for the banks to reach out to their portfolio of landlords and say, "Hey, look, this is what we're going to do."
So, I had an off-the-record conversation with someone yesterday, and they're a very smart human. They said employees have been taken care of. Great. But what about the flipping businesses who are now totally stuffed and tapped? The government needs to do something substantial for business owners themselves right now. Do you agree, disagree? What should happen?
Oh, fuck yeah. I mean, and it's not it's not the government, it's the taxpayer. It's the taxpayer's money, and it needs to circle back. And that first bailout package was shit. Like, it was rubbish.
I thought,
yeah, man. For business owners, for business owners, it's rubbish.
Oh yeah, okay.
I mean,
okay, got you.
Like, and even for our healthcare, I mean, 0.5 went to healthcare. Like, come on. Like,
yeah.
Of everything we need right now is healthcare, and so that doesn't even cover our deficit.
Ricky says, "How do I jump in?" Yeah, get in line, dude. Ricky, this is super simple. I'll flip and put like 5 links. It says join the show. Click the link, and it says StreamYard/DWV. But hit the flipping link. Shit, man, Ricky. For a tech guy, he's not too smart, is he? Fuck. So you reckon So what? How would you change it? What do they need?
Look, I think business owners know where their money needs to go, and they know where they need to be spending money, and the money that they have received in the form of a subsidy comes with a whole bunch of criteria. The reality is, on the front lines, business owners actually don't really understand that criteria that well, and so they are calling professionals all day, whether it's their accountant or their lawyer, trying to figure out whether they qualify, whether they have to pay it back. What if I've taken it and now I can't afford to even keep my staff on? Do I have to pay them above 80%? Can I still keep it? Do I pay it back? There's all these questions, right? So, I think we just need to say, here's some cash, spend it where you need. And I think we just need to trust business owners. Yeah, we need to trust them, man. Like,
could you trust them?
Some you can't. Some you can't. But the bulk you can.
So how much so you're saying business owners should literally just get cash from the government? You're saying every business owner should just get cash. How would you determine how much cash they should get? If they make $1 million, how much should they get? If they make $10 million, how much should they get? If you make $100,000, how much should you get?
I don't think every business owner should get some cash. I think that those who are going to take a financial impact due to COVID-19 should get some bailout, because we need these small business owners to survive. We need them to thrive, and we need them to come out the other side and continue to employ and to stimulate our economy. That's our reality.
I love your work, brother. Next caller is coming in. I feel this is like a full talk show now. Brent, Norling Law, thanks so much for your time. Great. And next up, we have Ricky Jack. Join the show, Ricky. How are you, brother?
Bro, I'm fantastic. Apart from the fact you're ribbing me live online that I can't find your link. Dude, I was on the Facebook platform. There's no link there. There's only LinkedIn, man. I had to go find you everywhere.
Mate, it's the danger of live plus me doing my thing. How are you, my friend?
Dude, I'm doing fantastic. This is the honeymoon that I never had, man. Like, I'm locked in isolation.
What? Well, clearly you don't have 3 kids running around and a crazy partner beating the shit out of you.
Kids.
Introduce yourself to the fam and say what's up.
Ricky Jack, serial entrepreneur, digital marketer, guru. I don't know, voiceover actor, whatever.
Digital weapon. Okay. Biggest shit you've seen going on with this whole stuff in terms of your world? Digital marketing, media's turned upside down, Bauer Media's just gone under, Facebook, Google, man. All sorts of shit. What's your take?
So, I think the plane of marketing is going to change completely differently. It's going to change complete. I think it's going to go full content. So exactly what you're doing is how our marketing is going to go. I think people are done with inauthenticity. I think people are done with like even boring old brand awareness billboards are done. I think this is the new brand awareness. This is how you build a brand, is you give away value for your top of the funnel activity. So free value.
People don't have patience.
They don't, mate. They're just like, here's my logo, get to know me. That's my brand awareness done.
Or no,
that's not how it works.
Hey, I'd like to be connected professionally on LinkedIn. Here's a quick link to book in a time to talk to me about how I can sell you services.
Yeah, totally.
Stuff you. Like that shit is so bad. It is so bad. And I've actually got a post come up with talking about like the tone deafness of so many brands right now, thinking that this is the time to sell and exploit on social is mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Oh, have we lost you? Oh, shit. I think we lost them. Oh, shit. Ricky, try and come back. Next up, the bro.
About like the
Hori, what's up, bro? You might need to chuck headphones on, or turn the show on mute so I can see you.
Okay.
You got it?
Hey, brother.
Good, bro.
Yep.
Oh shit!
I was so busy because I'm trying
mute
to
on the show. I know. Kill the show. Just kill the show. Kill the show. You're on here. You're on. Okay. How are you, brother?
I tried to get some better light,
Dude, how did you try to get better light? By literally going behind the screen with the light coming in behind you. That is the definition of backlit.
Yeah, I thought I would have got a time to prepare. There was a backstage, but not much of a backstage going on.
You can't get light shooting into the sun.
That's why I put behind the screen, not in front of the camera cam.
Introduce yourself to the gang. What's your name? What's up?
Hi, Tōra koutou, Hori Mātaki. Just getting through this mahi like everybody else, really. Some real good insights. So I just appreciate the kōrero from Jack, as well as Kangaroa Walker and Charmaine, who helped me with some of the mahi that we're trying to do in the South Island at the moment with establishing, actually yourself as well, putting up StreamYard as a potential platform for some of our clients that want to do mahi similar to this.
Did Ricky help you with that?
Oh, I talked to him. I was asking him questions around. I put it up on the Power Moves page around. What's the best way to get some of the social stuff out at the moment in such a massive amount of content pumping online at the moment? How to get some cut through, what kind of ideas that he might have seen that would help.
Funny you say that, because here he is, Ricky Jack, back in the show. Hey,
I'm so sorry about that. Look, I've come on that Karaka internet, guys. It's like ADSL 3 megabytes down. That's all I got. So.
Hori, give quick. So maybe just jump to Ricky. Finish that last thought with the game changing for media, and then we can go back to Hori with it, because I think it's a very interesting point. And
sure.
I think there's something in there that is really interesting. Go for it.
Yeah. So just really quickly, what I'm seeing is like I've probably lost half of my business and then gained an extra half of business for like services that can operate versus service like gyms. Obviously, just shut their doors, so we lost that revenue overnight, and then we've got. Other people who are selling PPE and hand sanitizer, and they've doubled down. What we're seeing though is we're testing a whole bunch of different creative to see what the market is engaging with. And I can tell you right now, if you try and sell a product, even if it's the essential product and it's a product that everybody needs and the product that everybody wants, no one buys it. You can't sell a product anymore. You have to be a genuine human and do genuine good shit, and then people will engage with whatever you're doing. Even if it's exactly what they need. Like we got one company selling hand sanitizer, and obviously it's just going nuts. Like they sold 18,000 units in 4 days in New Zealand alone. But the thing is that they're still getting hate for operating on their channel, right? So it's on their Facebook page and on their ads and stuff, because we're like, here's hand sanitizer, buy it, like you want it. And then we test a whole bunch of other creative, like stay safe, look after your family. If you want our services, we're still operating in this, and that ad goes nuts, right? So and us as copywriters, we are, when we're developing ads, we're always trying to find the right creative that works. But it all comes back to, everything is always coming back to how organic and how real can you be? And you'll find that even with the Google algorithms over the last 5 years, everything has changed to be how real can you be? And all they're doing is just how real. And so people are saying, how can I get to the top of Google organic search? Be organic. Like, okay, how do I do that? Write blogs. Okay, I'll write blogs. It's like, no, don't write blogs because you have to write blogs. Genuinely just put some good content out that people will engage with, and then people will like that too.
So I'll jump quickly on that. So I've had this thing where by default design, I've never paid a cent for absolutely anything. No paid SEO, no Google, no nothing. And, I got to 1.7 million people. It was like, and like someone asked me yesterday, oh man, you could get to so many people if you start paying. I'm like, no, that I am not a brand that's selling shit. This is not even brand building. This is like, no, if it's organic, if it's good, it will go. If it's good, it will 100%. Go. Stuff it.
I've always said when people go, oh, I'm looking to dip my toe in online. I'm like, why? And they're like, oh, my business is not working. Like, if it doesn't work offline, it won't work online. You've got to, your business has to work first. You have to do good stuff first. And then all we are is an amplifier. If it's shit, we'll amplify shit. That's it.
Yeah. Rick just says, if you've been focusing on being of service to people, right now is the moment that all your mahi will be paying off. Brand is value and authentic service will create market share if you have patience. Good work. Very well said, Rick. Hori, agree, disagree? From a creative side in this sort of digital space as well, how are you seeing this whole thing shift?
It's interesting because like yourself and like Ricky and others that are already digital and understand the platforms and online traffic and web and stuff, you almost have like an advantage. But now it's becoming, you almost have to become a bit of a mentor and teacher for those that are trying to adapt really fast to this new space. And I think being isolated is actually, you're kind of becoming MacGyver to kind of create content,
bro.
Kind of become like, how do you set up an online stream? How do you help people connect? So it's been an interesting time, definitely exhausting because I think you might find yourself repeating a lot of things often and that sort of thing.
No, bro, I mess with that shit heavy because I feel that it is forcing creativity amongst so many people, and when it's just like, okay, you a camera, go, what can you do, what can you create, it's actually exposing a bunch of these, I'm not calling them easy vloggers, but let's say easy vloggers that basically have a cool thing to go do and they get a nice thing, they get a shot, blah blah, it's just they don't need to try, it's just all there, and now they're locked at home. It's like, cool, well, what can you do creatively now? And now when it's funny enough, because when everyone can escape externally and create all this content, it's very easy and polished and there's a rush for attention. Now everyone's locked and everyone is consuming content. Well, how good is your shit now? Like, go. What do you got now? When it's like the yacht racing in the Olympics where everyone gets their identical boats.
Yeah.
Everyone's got the identical boat, and you just jump in, and it could be the whole thing. I think it's flipping.
And have you noticed that the exported Maori in a hoodie is the guy that is winning that game right now? Like.
Well, there you
go. Gang.
because it's about that authenticity piece, and I think too long we've floated that word around, but actually we've tried to fabricate authenticity. Like so many people, like, how can we look more authentic online? It's like, if you're asking that question, you're not doing it right.
That's
just like change the culture of your business, and then what will flow out of that will be genuine authenticity.
I think that's what the best advice you gave me, Ricky, was around, staying authentic and not trying to pretend and at this time around how you're going, what your people are feeling, just leaning into it and just being real. It was massive because I think everyone was still going through it at the moment.
Hori, just give a quick context to what your business actually does. I don't think you said that for those that are watching with Ariki, what your buzz.
I started off as a freelance graphic designer 13 years ago, and from this, I wanted to make video games, to be honest. Making games is super hard, so I never did it. But in making games, there's like graphic design, animation, as well as audio and all sorts of storytelling. So I've actually been fortunate to spread that across the design business. So I've been pretty much leading a design studio since 2015 with about 15 people now. And in that, we're just trying to help Māori and all around Aotearoa to kind of have a bit of a presence in the design and creative space. So we've been able to be a part of a lot of stuff in the South Island and a bit of stuff in the North Island as well. So from creating resources like graphic design, branding, to actually entering different physical spaces as well, to like interior and spatial design. And
you forgot the most important thing, bro.
Oh,
the
yeah.
best high school of all time.
That's right. It's I don't know, high school.
Yeah.
A school that doesn't exist anymore. But I think we're kind of used to not having a lot. That's my take on survival at the moment. I say for those that are going through not having things, it's saying that we grew up in our side of town not really having a lot. So I think even through the earthquake, as a freelance graphic designer, that shook up the system in town. And then a lot of the work went to those that were agile enough to move fast. And Robert probably can attest to the agility being a key factor to his success. And then when big things happen to the big companies, they go to the smaller companies to support everybody. And at the moment, I feel like everybody's become their own little companies and everybody's become responsible for their own skills and talent. And what they can achieve online is something that I think helps if you got the skills. So, yeah.
Miss Foster's giving you props, man.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Miss Foster.
Yeah, we got a big story about her, actually. Our team, our class at school, actually, we had a big, she said she didn't want to send her kids to our school, and I think the whole school ended up, our class anyway, sort of turned on her a bit, but then she came back and appreciated a bit of that, I think. Shout out to all the teachers at Adelaide High School.
Yeah, shout out. Biggest shift okay, Ricky, I'll actually ask you this question. Everyone's stuck in virtual and everyone's rushing online to have virtual presence and transition. There's still a mentality of transactions for commerce because there's no cash flow, but the reality to actually have that, it's got to be relationship with value, with content, with the things that you do. How do businesses need to change their strategy in the way that they think about digital presence and social brand building during times like this, so they're not tone deaf to the commerce?
I think it's important not to throw your business brain out because you don't understand the technology. Remember when we used to live offline and we used to go online, and now we live online and we go offline occasionally. So our behavior has just transitioned to online. So you still have the old school, the P's of marketing and the funnel, and that still exists. It's just that people can do it themselves now. You don't have to tell them about it. You don't have to take them through that journey. They take themselves through the journey. So you have to make it available for them. So all your responsibility is just to represent yourself in the truest form possible online. And you don't have to try and force anything down people's throats. They'll find it if your content is good and authentic. So, I mean, we're seeing a massive shift in behavior right now, and everyone's forced to change that behavior. So New Zealand's digital behavior is 5 to 7 years behind everybody else. So I think we're catching up really fast. We've been forced into it from like level 4. So I think that we'll catch up real quick.
It's good. Dion says authenticity, so true. We're finding that in Europe too. Also finding people in our teams that didn't previously consider themselves creative and now becoming super creative. Deshala, agree with the future about brand awareness. Sharing value should be top of the funnel. And Nick Elias says, I think the hidden message here is inspire.
I like that lots of people are starting to talk, because there are so many people with so much value that don't talk. And Robert, I take my hat off to you because you are connected with those people and you people online. Like, I've had the privilege of spending some time and buying a coffee for Rob Campbell, and I just soaked in that guy's, aura. And then when you got him online and showed him to the world, I was just like, oh my goodness. I'll give you an example. I posted a post on LinkedIn yesterday and said, CEOs, what's the one thing that you would tell yourself on the first day of your first CEO job? And not a single comment. And I'm connected with maybe 300-400 CEOs. And I was just like, I wonder what value I could try and extract out of these people. And the thing is that your generation will disappear, and all that knowledge will disappear if they either don't actively come on or we don't draw it out of them. So we have a responsibility to actually draw that if we understand this digital space, which is why basically I've just said, hey, hit me up on Facebook if you want to know anything about digital, you want to get out there or whatever, let's just do some stuff. I'm not going to charge anybody for anything. So
I get it. We've got our next callers on. Boys, it's been good.
Yo.
Ricky, keep it real.
Thank
Corey,
you.
A-Town for life, doggy. I see you soon. I think up next we've got the bro Tamati, Norman.
What up, bro? How are you?
How are you? Good, bro. Good. How are you? What's going on? Go for it.
Oh, bro, we're
introduce yourself. Go.
Oh, kia ora, Tamati CEO, co-founder of Native Rituals and Romac Industries. We do natural cosmetic sleep and muscle recovery, and we do a lot of work in Papua New Guinea around sustainable agriculture and business development, and also with iwi tourism businesses here in New Zealand as well. So we do quite across a diverse range of things, but my main mahi is with native rituals. So yeah,
you already kind of live out in the bush. You're already pretty. You're off the flipping the commercial grid with traffic and bullshit. You're flipping. Why are you on the show, mate? This is like a normal week for you. Stuff you, Tony.
Yeah. Hey, bro. That literally the only thing that's changed is I have maybe 100 less cars going past the front of my house, and my wife gets to stay at home because the schools are closed. So
True. How's wifey? All good?
Yeah, she's good, bro. It's been really good for us with her being hapu. That she's not having to be at work and kind of in that risk position of kids bringing viruses into school, and so that's been huge for us, is having that relief.
5 months?
We're due in June 8th, so we're 7 months. 7 months? 8 months, something. Yeah,
Kerry Russell, Tamati, the man. Oi, Kerry, jump on the show, dog.
Jump in, brother. Bro, one of the things that I'm finding, I guess, interesting is like we're an e-commerce business, and so I look after the e-commerce for my iwi and for my own company, but we're completely shut down. So looking at hearing your guys'
not essential.
Yeah, well, we're not deemed as essential, but there's also companies like Be Pure with Ben Warren. Ben Warren, so they're shut down as well. And
I've got him on the show next week.
Yeah, he's a good dude, bro. I've got a lot of time for him. He did his masters in Māori nutrition, traditional Māori nutrition. And so his
just quickly, Kerry can't jump on because he's currently nude. Jeez, this show's turned to shit. E-commerce business, yep, go next.
But, so being shut down, it was quite interesting to hear. Like one of the things we've been doing is trying to provide content for our customers and our consumer base about, hey, where do you buy food? How do you go outside the main box of Progs, Foodstuffs, My Food Bag, and HelloFresh? And so we kind of said, hey, here's a few other online options that are small businesses that aren't rammed to the wall, that are getting you second, 2 to 3 day delivery. And so that's kind of where I've been targeting on, is we can't sell anything, but we can provide value. So that was really interesting to hear the last two callers there, Corridor, about that. And so in some ways, it's going to make me go back, and my wife and I spent a day doing video yesterday and just kind of repositioning how that is. So it's more informational.
Yeah, and it's a good time for the brand building piece, right? The educational story behind the story, telling all those things. You've got maybe one thing to also think about is doing this with someone else at the moment is converting your email newsletter database into a content play, and either drive potentially that online, right? So say if you did, native rituals, Thursday sessions or whatever this may be, even if it's just a Q&A or whatever it is, like take them from a static environment through, I guess, a email into a call to action, into some live event where there's interactivity to build more of that trust. And perfect example is Dion Nash. We did that yesterday. So he was, talking about his Dion Nash with Trump and disaster. We talked about, I was like, man, let's open that conversation up to do it. So we did that old rope show last night, and it was, me, him, Bruce Pilbrow, and James McConey, which was super, super rad chats. But yeah, maybe something to think about as well.
That's real interesting. Yeah, the other one that I've kind of got thrown yesterday was with my iwi's tourism businesses being shut down.
Yeah.
They've now said, hey, here's a 4 to 6 week period on how we reimagine what our tourism delivery looks like. If people can't come to us, what is our presentation like? What are we offering? So I think that's quite an exciting thing to have, is that we took Ngāti Kuri's tourism businesses digital 2 years ago. And so over that 2 year period, we've been kind of transitioning, and now we can't sell much, but we can actually start to tell our story in a greater way. And I'm I had to sit back.
Virtual depth.
Exactly, bro. And it's like, we've had 350,000 cars go past to Te Reringa Wairua and Cape Reinga every year. That number was predicted to go to 600,000 pre-coronavirus, but we'd not had a way to engage with them. So I think now we're in a position where we're reimagining and looking at how do we use VR, how do we use things that are going to give people the experience of visiting us. and finding the rest that our environment provides. So it's I'm in a place where I'm like going, man, it's a cool opportunity. I've just got to figure out in my head how to deliver it in a way that is both honoring of our environment and of our tikanga, and how do we merge that into a digital context in a way that is communicated so that people don't just run up north, you know.
Mate, this is simple. The advantage is culture, and culture is storytelling, and you can talk good shit, so I think you're going to be fine.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually really excited by it.
Great. Good chatting to you, bro. Got the next call on. Shaz, you're going to be up next. Shot G, talk to you soon, bro.
Talk to you soon, bro. Check us.
Deuces. Up next. Shaz, how are you?
I'm good, Robert. How are you? Look at the beautiful white hats.
So you're not even, this doesn't even count as isolation. You got all the space in the world. Give a quick intro to everyone. What's your name? Where you're at? What are you up to?
So I'm Sharon, but because I'm majority, I'm known as Shaz. And I have a tourism company called Love My New Zealand. I've been running it 6 years now. And I had the pleasure of having you out on one of our great adventures, Robert.
It was amazing with Rudy Bublitz and all the crew, and we just half destroyed $1.3 million worth of Range Rovers, I believe. That was insane.
Yeah, and actually, doesn't that make you realize how lucky we were and what we actually had? And you know, at times like this, you realize being outside was amazing, and will be in the future.
Totally agree. So what's up?
But yeah, so I guess, you know, you were asking how everybody was feeling, and I have to be honest, I've watched a lot of your stuff on the tall poppy syndrome, etc. I think I swing from despair to hope and joy every day. I go from one to the other. And, you know, as I say, I mean, I'm a single mum of 3 kids. So it's kind of, it's me. And if the loneliness grabs me, then I go down. But, you know, so I'm really excited that things like this can happen, because it's great to hear other people's ideas and how people are coping.
It's really been good seeing and listening to other leaders with their headspace around how they're approaching it, and just the mindset they're taking into it. You know, even Michelle Dickinson's thing of her entire global business crumbled in 24 hours, and within 7 days she changed a total virtual academy and all this other crazy stuff. Like, it's pretty insane, right? So yeah, it is. I think it's important to go wide and have everyone kind of actually say what's up, and kind of more humanize and have some real chats. And I guess obviously I'm fortunate enough that, you know, I've got personal relationships, and everyone knows how I roll anyway, so I'm pretty flat regardless. I don't give a shit if you're a CEO, if you're homeless or whatever. Like, we're homies, and it's been quite good, because I think a lot of people, they want to see others that potentially might be in different positions or whatever still know that, oh, there is vulnerability and a bit more authenticity and a bit more empathy with them as well, and just the mindset that you're taking around. Did you see the one yesterday with Paul Wood, Dr. Paul Wood? It was incredible, eh? Like, his headspace, I was getting hyped, like, talking to him. I'm like, shit, yeah, let's flip and go. Let's go. I was just getting hyped. But just the mental space of how they take into it is big. How are you doing mentally? Like, how's the headspace? Are you getting a bit more of a game plan with the strategy of how you sort of dealing with this whole shit? Like,
yeah, and I think I am. I think what I'm looking at the moment is that we had all these resources like vehicles and people, team and expertise and tech, and we thought, well, it's literally doing nothing. You know, we've got Range Rovers sitting on the drives, not doing anything. So we've actually gone a bit underground, which has been interesting, because I've got such a great network as well. Because of running a luxury tourism company, I've got some quite wealthy business people, and it's been incredible, because even though they're hurting, they've still put contributions through into our business so that we can help others. My sister's paramedic, so we've been able to hear on the ground those that they're going in to see who are really struggling, i.e. can't afford any food. So I liken us at the minute to the Knights of the Road, like the AA in the UK used to be, where they turned up on motorbikes in black leather. And we haven't quite got to the leather bit yet, but, you know, taking a box of groceries and just leaving it at the end of a doorstep or a drive and then leaving. It's been quite good. And that's a temporary fix. That's going to help some people in the community, which I'm really happy to do. But in the meantime, I have some great little, great team, and we've been talking about where we go with tourism. And it was really great to hear your last speaker there talk about, giving value when there's no income or nothing coming in at the minute, but we can't sell, but we can give value. And so we've started getting into the headspace of domestic tourism. And although we're being very careful with that, because it's not really, we shouldn't make some assumptions about what people here will want to do, but we do anticipate that international tourism is going to take a long time. And so what we're thinking about doing is just creating the most amazing of journeys for when people want to click a button and go, and have those itchy feet and want to see and really celebrate our country. So we're getting ready to do that.
Yeah, that's cool. Smart. Yeah, the tourism sector has been pumped, totally pumped. I'm homies with I'm on the board of Figure NZ with Stephen England Hall, who's the CEO of Tourism New Zealand, and I'm going to have him on the show after obviously the chaos dies down. But you wonder, how do they navigate? Do they go virtual? Do they go augmented? How do they start to slowly bring crew in? Theirs is purely predicated on the immigration, I guess, status of what the New Zealand government decides to do with all those bits and pieces. So. Yeah, it's going to be crazy to see how it goes. How do you see the tourism ecosystem rebound from this?
I think it's a time that the industry really has to work together. And it's an interesting concept because, when we talk about we're in this now, this is coronavirus, this is COVID-19 era. And before that, everything looked great. Well, it didn't. And I said to a colleague the other day, I was struggling in business before this all happened. Yeah. So actually, I think it's time that the tourism industry did look at this and go, right, we could really work together. We could share knowledge. We can create journeys amongst ourselves. And we can really, instead of this kind of sometimes in tourism, you found people were very standoffish and didn't want to reveal their secrets and reveal their knowledge. It's time to get together now and open up and really start to work together.
I could see... talking to Sam Stubbs, he runs the CEO of Simplicity KiwiSaver. They're sitting on about 1.5 billion at the moment, on track to try and get to 20, I guess. But they're saying they're going to basically make moves to start investing into local hospitals, bits and pieces, whatever. And then I can imagine then the flow-on effect as well is even there'll be a big push for hyper-local tourism of really supporting the local thing, local then regional then national. So I'm imagining they will be a bit more into the mix. I really appreciate your chat, Shaz, and I'll talk to you soon. Good yarns.
Well,
oh shit, ladies and gentlemen, we've been blessed for the one and only half-bearded man that is number 4 Jock of the Year in Metro Magazine. Ladies and gentlemen, Carl Budge, all up in this shit.
If I knew the link that you just sent me meant I was going to come on this, I would have said no.
You're out walking, baby?
Out with the fam.
Oh, okay. Briar's off it. Sorry, Briar. He's live online, out to the masses.
Oh, he was mid-conversation.
Hi, Robett's mum.
Just the only one that's watching. Mum's on Messenger like, let's see what he's doing. Hey, the bed's looking good, mate. Is this what happens after tennis finishes?
He didn't know how to close down the last application, so
Geez.
Still got it going on his phone.
For those who don't know Mr. Carl Budge, please introduce yourself in 10 seconds. Okay, yeah, that's enough. Okay, so and go for it, mate. You can say it. Okay, flex on him.
Oh, there's no introduction to be had. It's just a friend of Robett's that talks a little bit of sport.
There you go. Okay, so would you like to talk about what would you like to talk about? Sport, events, tourism, business, bailouts. What's on your mind as you walk? Are you in Omaha? You're in Omaha?
Yeah, we're in Omaha.
Yeah.
Missing sport, it's safe to say.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about that.
I think everyone's just hurting, and it's sport provides such a wonderful escape for so many people in times of crisis. I think it's the hole has been further widened by it not being around, and it's a real shame for everyone involved. But in context, it's also there's a lot of businesses hurting a lot more than we are. So
do you
on.
After this resets, we're talking to Cameron George the other day. He's saying it will, this will take an entire reset, and he's looking at potential horizontal collaboration within other sporting codes, governments, corporates, and whatever to do it better. How do you think sport resets commercially after this?
I think we're going to be forced to look at how we deliver our product differently. I think for a long time we've been pretty lazy in New Zealand around our entertainment experiences. And so I think this is going to give us a really good opportunity to go, okay, well, what do people actually want now? How do we get people back in stadium? How do we get brands having trust in our industry and seeing the real commercial value? But there's no question as well that it's also sped up, and to say that COVID-19 sped up esports is probably inaccurate, because it was already a behemoth. But it's shining a light now on the more archaic sports. The more traditional sports are now having to go, oh wow, maybe we should play in this space. That sort of forced it upon us. So it's interesting times for all of us.
The bit at the end that Cameron was talking about is, he's now got forced time to think about this planning of where they go. And clearly, obviously, they hadn't thought as much in the virtual space or online and digital as much as they could have. When I was talking to Clive Omrod, CEO of Les Mills, he was saying this did nothing. Their strategy didn't change one bit. It just escalated its implementation into the marketplace. So, exactly to that point on sport, there's going to be a lot of these different organizations looking at what they can do better, what tech they could think of things, and kind of reset the entire slate. Obviously, with the All Blacks and bits and pieces, it almost looks like the government's going to have to step in across sport, across all of it, right? Like, how do you, if you were the government, how do you sort of take the approach of, after we get the medical sides clear, we get communities back sort of bubbling, and then this kind of is, I guess, sports icing on the cake in many respects. How would you think about strategically how you'd approach that, maybe from a government perspective?
I think there's different levels to each different sport, mate. Is that the health benefits, the socioeconomic benefits of sport is vast. If we can make sure that kids get back being active, that's going to save our health systems and the like in the future years, as multiple researchers have shown. So I think it's important that we that it is a priority for us. It's also going to be critical in terms of getting confidence in people going back into the tourism, even domestic tourism at first. Yep. That we're going to have to get people using events as a way of moving around countries and attending things again, and getting into mass groups again, and getting back to our normal. So I think it is a priority, but there's the challenge at the moment, I guess, is there are so many priorities out there. What I do think it's shone a real light on for us is, I think the need for the superstar, I think, will potentially shift. And I think that's going to be one of the big changes. What
do you mean by that?
I think you're going to see that the sport will come through more than the individual. And I think for a long time, and if I look at one of the hats that I wear in terms of tennis, the individual has carried the sports for so long. If I think of a Roger, a Rafa, a Novak, a Serena, they've really carried our sport for so long, and it was them that people wanted to come and see.
Yeah,
I think, online is teaching us that it doesn't actually need to be. I can't tell you any of the gamers that that you're seeing compete at the moment, but people are watching them en masse, and they will build their own following. Don't get me wrong, but I think the reliance on superstar may shift coming out of this process.
Interesting. All right, I know you're with the fam. I know I just messaged her to abuse you as per usual. Big love to wifey. Tell Gordy he sucks. And I'll be seeing you soon. Love your work, brother. Deuces. There's the bro, Carl Budge, ASB Classic Tournament Director on the commercial board at NZ Rugby. He's got very skinny legs and he sucks at golf. Next up, the bro. Oh, Justin Smith.
Hey, wow, that was quick.
Boy. What's up, buddy?
Hello, brother. How you doing?
What's cracking?
Not much.
Good,
I'm
bro.
just
How's
out
things?
taking a...
What's up, Grom?
Say what up.
What up?
This is Jai, everyone.
What up,
I
dog?
got my other little one. We're just, going out for our daily walk, which currently
Dude, Jai's
entails
got
a
way
bit of
bigger,
skating.
man.
Yeah, he's huge. We're just out here skating. That's Robett. So hi, Robett.
What's up, dog?
Hey, Robett. It's
G'day,
Felix.
mate. On the Scooter Gang Mafia.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
skating, but only where it's nice and, slick, aka the driveway at home.
No, I got it, man.
Yeah.
I like you. I would like to give you social props. You're the first person to put their handle for the gram.
Yes.
Marketing 101.
Let's see from
The
your
boy
work.
Justin
Yeah.
knows
Let's
what's
see from
popping.
your work.
100%.
Oh, mate, you're just getting bombarded. Yeah, you're the head boss dog at Rema, right? Give them the quick context. Say what up. Well, let them know what you do.
I look after digital marketing at Rema Media, which is broadcaster in New Zealand that looks after, it's effectively the biggest Christian broadcaster in New Zealand. So we've got 3 radio stations, TV channel, and I look after digital there. So all the social media platforms, websites, podcast, app. If it's digital, it's me. So.
Mate, the beard's looking strong, bro. Strong.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's a kind of a perspective I wanted to throw in here because obviously for starters, we're a non-for-profit, right? And so the impact for us, which is really interesting. Hold up, let's turn on my skateboard. The impact for us, do a kickflip, Felix. The impact for us is really interesting because, whether you have faith or not, the importance of faith-based organizations in this time has become really apparent to me because obviously it's the first crisis that I've been through where I've been in a position to actually see a lot of the communication that comes through. And for us, it's really interesting because we're listener supported. So we don't have the commercial element to our organization, in terms of advertising. We are literally 100% on air. No, actually, it's a lie. 80% on air because of donations, literally from our listeners who back what we do. Which means we have a level of insulation from all the commercial and instability that we're seeing in the market at the moment, which is
plus clickbait articles sending people for fear-mongering media, which is causing distress in the real world. But continue. Yep.
Yeah, and then the second part of that is obviously people who back what we do. It reinforces what's important for us, which is actually people want to hear a certain message. In our case, it's doubling down on the aspects around hope. And actually, there's an end to all of this and just being there for people, as they expect us to on a day-to-day basis. And what that highlighted for us as a team, especially as the whole organization has been sent to work from home, and our CEO and us as a leadership team have all said, look, obviously I have kids. It's 9:46. I've sort of online-ish at 6 a.m. this morning. As long as we're hitting our big boulders, we don't give a stuff if people are working, at 10 at night because they're working around kids or, they're doing their 9 to 5. And that level of grace is really important. But what it's really forced us to do is hone in on the what's urgent versus what's important, paradigm. And that's something that obviously is super relevant in organizations all the time, but especially now in this time of crisis and need where everyone is forced, it's leveled the playing field that everyone has to think that way internally. But from a consumer perspective, I think it's also the exact same. And it speaks to something, was it Jack earlier was talking about selling products and the whole content marketing around it? It's like, from our perspective, we need to hone in on what's important for us, it's our listeners. But, for commercial brands, it's 100% that same thing. Unless it's important to them, it's completely tone deaf in this moment, I
would agree. We've got the next caller coming on. We've got Mr. Tim Marshall is about to join in. Mr. Tim Marshall is about to join in. I'll see you soon, Justin. Later, Jizo. I'll talk to you. Tell Ruth I said what up.
Yeah, well.
Later, doggy.
See you guys.
It's the boy, Timbo.
Yo. How you going?
So, Tim Marshall, please introduce yourself.
Yeah. Well, my name is Tim. Originally from Timaru, so that's a good way to remember me, I guess. Tim from Timaru.
Plus the beard.
Yeah, that's it. This is my quarantine beard that I got going on. It's good. Everything's a mess in my life at the moment, so why not my face as well? But yeah, well, what's our connection? I started working with you probably, like 5 years ago. 6 years, yeah. Because I've been living in Auckland now for 6 years, and we started working together and got involved with Frontside and that sort of thing, and that was pretty sick, pretty fun. And still with Frontside at the moment, still doing that, and being able to work from home. And I've got a backlog of editing that I'm getting through with that. But yeah, I mean, this conversation is pretty awesome, man. And I think probably where my value add comes into this is probably more so on the church side of things as opposed to the work side of things. Like the work side of things at the moment, I don't think we're going to see the impact of that in the sort of videography industry for another 2 months yet, because a lot of people are still doing stuff on the backlog, and obviously everything's going to look completely different over the next couple of months and for the rest of the year, I think, for sure. But I mean, there's always ways around it, and there's stuff like this where people have just got to adapt, and brands have got to do this. But in terms of what we're doing for church, like we immediately had to go online, right?
Yeah, I saw the
Like,
live
you've got-
streams, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you immediately have got, say, 200 people that you usually meet with on a Sunday morning, and you're not allowed to do that anymore. So what are you going to do? And so we just jumped straight into the live stream game, and we've got a bunch of friends that are doing things in a whole bunch of different ways as well, pre-recording things and premiering them like that. But we decided that things are changing too quickly, and so we wanted to stay in the live game and be able to talk to things as things pop up. But we've been finding it really, it's a pretty steep learning curve, not only in terms, like, the live stream stuff is pretty straightforward. Like, you can sit here, you can have conversations, and you can connect with people that way. What we're learning to do and trying to do better all the time, and very steep learning curve for it, is just trying to connect with people in this new way. Because you're not having the face-to-face catch-ups anymore, and so
that's a tough thing, because you're not there in person to have the feeling. It's like a lot. Ed Hyde, the chief customer officer at Chorus, was saying, he can't sit in the room with someone and look at the energy or the expression or what they're feeling, and that whole the EQ side of feeling things, right? And you kind of wonder, can you create EQ, emotional depth, through virtual?
Yeah, and I think that. At the moment, I think everyone's struggling with it. That's what I've found. They
want to hug everyone. People want hugs. Timbo, GC's Timbo.
Yeah, dude. Everyone's just tired as well, right? Everyone's like exhausted from video calls, and just there's like a new way of learning how to be with each other and learning how to connect with each other and that sort of thing. And so, I think that's been it's just an ongoing learning process, right? I don't think we're going to get it right. Like, none of us ever been through something like this before.
No.
And where we're all separated physically, and so we have to connect virtually, and like, there's so much screen time, man. Like, I was talking about it with my flatmate Braden. It's like we go from your iPhone gives you a notification every week telling you how much screen time you had. I went up like 42% last week to 10 hours a day or something like that. And I was like, oh gosh, like, you're going from your computer and working from home, and you're like, oh, I need a break from looking at that screen. And so you go look at another screen, because the way that you connect with people and your smoko break now is looking at another screen. And so we were saying it's super important for us to get out for a walk. And,
offline's the new online, bro.
That's it.
Nyan, Timuru's favorite son.
Man, I miss that guy.
Such a good dude.
Dang, we had some good times with collab, didn't we?
Man. So the crazy journey. How you feel? How's the body holding up? You're doing you're doing the press ups every day. You're getting the physical health dialed. You got the tech dialed for the live stuff. You've got a batch load of 2 months worth of editing to knock out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I've been doing press ups every day. #100 with mods on that one.
Suns out, guns out.
That's it. And then I've been Boxing Alley have been doing free live workouts at like 5 o'clock every day as well. So I've just been hopping on that. It's just super important, I think, for me anyway, just to get that exercise in. Otherwise, it's too easy to feel like a slob and like you haven't done anything. So, I think that exercise is super important. But yeah, man, it's an interesting time connecting with people like this, and I mean, we have like groups, and we've been doing Zoom calls for our smaller groups with church, and we had one of those last night, and it actually was really sick. It was awesome. So I think that initially there's the flood where it's like it's all too much. I'm on a screen way too much, but I think we'll learn how to connect with one another. I think, like, as people, we're designed for connection with each other, and so it's like, I think we'll just learn more and more how to do that. So yeah, I'm way too optimistic for my own good. I think we'll be all right.
Same page, brother. All right, we've got a boost, bro. Love your work, bro. Much love. I'll talk to you
bro.
soon, eh? Shot Timbo.
Good chat. See you later.
My man.
Bye.
But deuces. Timbo, the flippin' man. Timbo is an absolute good human. Started rocking with me with Colab and Frontside 5-6 years ago. Now he's the big boss dog at Frontside with the Sachi and Sachi Mafia. Absolute champion. I've really enjoyed this. This has been a good energy change and people coming in and out and rocking the Morena meetup. I think this needs to be a thing. Fridays, 9 o'clock. I think it's going to be a thing. Great work, team. Big day ahead. We've got John Baker coming up, Media Weapon. Lisa King coming up, Social Weapon. Francis Valentine's coming up, flipping Educational Futurist Weapon. It's going to be a good day, team. Stay positive, stay good, high fives, and I'll see you in a bit. Deuces.